Hello, this is MassX with a new DanMachi Battle Chronicle video, and I wanted to talk about something that seems to keep getting brought up in multiple different forums, okay? And if you're not aware, the developer of this game is the same developer for Eminence and Shadow Master of Garden. Now, I've been playing that game since it was released, and it's coming on its year anniversary, but I'm seeing some things with DanMachi that concerns me because they are literally verbatim doing what they did with Eminence and Shadow Master of the Garden. So let's first take a look at Eminence and Shadow, and I can show you what I'm talking about. Now let's first talk about the shop and the pricing, because it looks like they're mirroring what they do with Eminence in the Shadow. And basically what you're gonna see is $100 pack, $50 pack, and so on, 800 plus 400. Absolutely identical with DanCrow. In addition, you get that one free pack, which isn't a lot, but you do get that. And then when it comes to summons, it's literally identical. It's a 200 pity in Eminence and Shadow, and it's a 200 pity in DanCrow. And that's what I wanted to bring up with everybody. They're using tickets in DanCrow. Here what they do basically is there's just an exchange spot with the particular banner. When you get to 200, you can get that character. So I'm guessing because Eminence and Shadow has its own regular summon, that the pity for that will not work on banner characters because it doesn't in Eminence and Shadow. And Eminence and Shadow's biggest problems, especially early on in the game, were a couple fold. One was you never could have enough stamina. I'm already finding out that with DanCrow. In addition, the items you need to level up your characters are not enough, in my opinion, in DanCrow. Same problem we've been having in Eminence and Shadow. Now, they've been slowly improving that in Eminence and Shadow, and it has gotten much better, I must say. And then the other final thing that is literally identical is basically your arena modes. Now, even though we don't in Eminence and Shadow have the same type of system that they're using there, you get 5 attempts a day. That's it. And then you have to pay. And that goes across the board with any of their PvP in Eminence in the Shadow. Well, as you can see by what we've seen so far with DanCrow, it's on a timer and it takes forever, or guess what? You're paying. And so they're really following the same exact blueprint between both games. In DanCrow, of course, you can save up to 10 at one time, but it literally takes forever, the timer. It's too slow. It needs to be sped up. And if you want to hit, and if you're looking at all those people that are high up in the ranks, this is what they did. They spent Cellas. So yeah, so they're pretty much blueprinting exactly the same setup from Eminence and Shadow when it comes to your gacha pulls, when it comes to your stamina, and when it comes to the arena versus play. And honestly, that's where my biggest concerns are, because even though my stamina looks high right now, it's because I haven't had a chance to play all day and I just checked in and of course accumulated all my stuff. But I can burn through that in no time. And on top of it, I never have enough stuff to level my things. I feel like I'm constantly just running a skip to start getting more supplies when I should be wanting to move forward on the story. But I digress. So as you can see, the pack prices and setups are literally exact same. If you look in that top right corner where you see the little banners you can scroll through, they do the exact same thing for their feature items in Eminence and Shadow. Looks the same, everything. So what should happen is you should be able to use your currency in game the sellers for the banner. That hopefully will be the case, because that's what they do in Eminence and Shadow. The only thing that you will not get is your pity. That is exclusive to a banner. It's exclusive to each place you pull on. So if you were hoping to get your pity up in the normal banner, I'm betting it's not gonna work. So I wanted people to be aware of that. Also too, Eminence and Shadow has always done paid incentives, buy, you'll get some discounted tickets, etc. My guess it's going to be the same thing. And then those items, you have to purchase it, and you will not be able to use your in-game currency, and in this particular case, your sellers. So keep that in mind, because honestly, if you want to start planning for banners, we'll know as soon as this first one comes out next week. But I will lay money on the fact that it will be a separate banner. You'll be able to use your in-game currency, but you won't be able to use that in-game currency for anything that will, let's say, like if they offer discounted tickets for that banner, or they offer some sort of incentive with that banner, and your pity will be stuck with that banner. So if you don't go full 200, you will never see the results of your pity ever again. It gets wiped, it's over with. So let me know your thoughts. There's a lot of similarities between the games. Now, mind you, I've been playing Eminence in the Shadow since it came out. I still play it. I actually really enjoy the game. You just have to decide how you are going to be, and you get very particular about specific banners, and hopefully they'll do some of the similar things they do in Eminence in the Shadow, where we may get event and like 2 special banners during the event. Then we will get another banner in between that will be a more focused character and not an event character. And then the circle keeps going the same. So my guess is, I have a feeling we're going to be looking at something very similar, because it's done quite well in Japan. I know globally it's not as crazy as it is in Japan, Eminence and Shadow, but it's solid enough. It makes steady, good income monthly, and my guess is that's their hope for this game, by basically releasing this globally all at once and see what markets really gravitate to it, and yet they're not really having to change anything. So beware, we are probably looking at some of those types of breakdowns when it comes to pulling, the issues with stamina, and the issues with being able to have enough resources to level your characters. This is gonna have to be addressed, because it was a major issue in Eminence in the Shadow. I would have thought by now they would have learned their lesson. I hope they're not starting at square one with this game, and then just seeing how much players bug them about it, because that's exactly what happened in Eminence and Shadow, and it took a lot of pressure for them to start releasing more and more items to you. Same goes with the arena, same goes with everything else I've talked about. So, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're enjoying the game. I'm enjoying the game so far. I get frustrated because I feel like I can already see where this is going, because I've been working with this dev team on another game for this last 10 months. So, and they seem to be following the blueprint directly. So that does worry me. Besides that, they just fixed the issues they've got going on, in particular with Magic Stone Scramble. When it works, I like it. But when it doesn't work, it's a cluster F, and it keeps just, you can't get in for 5-6 tries, then one time you get right in. Battle Arena, it's fine. It is what it is. If they're not going to allow us to really use our characters freely, then, it doesn't make much of a difference to me. But if they can just clean up their act and don't really go crazy on gouging their player base and getting us more items that we're going to need to really push along, I think they can be pretty successful. But man, if they're going to make us just scratch and scratch and scratch to get every little thing out of them for the first couple months, then man, I gotta say, I've already been through that once with this developer. I don't know if I can deal with doing it again. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.